racing. We can't go on like this anymore. I'm done with the games we're playing. I'm over it. Yeah, I gotta let you go. Oh, yeah, I gotta let you go. Oh, yeah, I gotta let you go. Yeah, I gotta let you go. Summer fine. I saw you right up in the summertime. I tried to make you mine, it wouldn't work. Put in work, I had to push you first. I lost my mind, went berserk. I feel like Uzi Vert. Vivian Westwood chain hanging right around my neck. Balenciaga kicks 44 when I step. Summer fine. I saw you right up in the summertime. But now I stay inside all the time, wasting away, waiting for you to call one more time. Without you here, can't sleep, can't breathe. I need you here, right next to me. Thoughts in my head, racing. We can't go on like this anymore. I'm done with the games we're playing. I'm over it. So I had to let you go. Yeah, I gotta let you go. Yeah, I gotta let you go. Hey, yeah, I gotta let you go. Yeah, I gotta let you go. Wait, yeah, I gotta let you go.
I've been up for 3 nights. My eyes are bloodshot red. Damn, I wanna see the sunshine. It's getting to my head. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but he runs away at midnight. I'm sorry that I stole your car. Ain't got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. My siblings are perfect and I wish I were the same. Making bad decisions, it should be my middle name. I love playing with fire, it's my favorite. Watch me burn my whole house down, not feel a thing. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but he runs away at midnight. I'm sorry that I stole your car. Ain't got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom.
Well, this is what happens when I'm out of my medicine.
There's collateral damage, I gotta go.
I'm sorry that I stole your car. Ain't got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom.
Hello, how is it going? My name is Kai Unity Kai, and tonight I'm going to do a little bit of everything, I guess you could say. Well, not really, but kind of. Um, what I was planning to do is podcast. Unfortunately, the other guests, it doesn't look like they are going to be able to make it. So I guess I'll just kind of carry it here myself. But essentially, the topic is on mythology. So I know what my angle was or is insofar as what I was going to do for my part. So I guess what I'll do is touch on that. Following, I have planned Beam NG with the Mustang Terminator. So that's a racing game. And then following for the final item, a Silent Hill 2, or a Silent Hill 2. I'm looking at the PlayStation Magazine. The United States PlayStation Magazine issue 49. And it has a demo disc. So I will be trying that out. There's quite a few demos on it. I'm hoping it works. I don't know quite for sure if it will or not, but I'm hopeful it will. And I was also going to show the magazine. So looks like there's a couple of minutes left on the download for that. The demo disc, that is. I was hoping it would be done by now, but it's taken quite a while because of the servers it's located on through the Internet Archive. So some servers are quick, others not so much. But anyhow, I suppose what I'll do is start it off with my stance on mythology. I was just checking to see if someone, another member, was going to be able to stop in or not. But I told them to let me know. So if they do, then they can just pop right in. But they were kind of going to be, I was hoping anyway, that they'd kind of be the main one to kind of carry the topic and subject here, because it's on mythology, and mythology is not an area that I really, that I would say I'm very knowledgeable with. So, but anyhow, like I said, I think what I'll do is kind of just touch on my aspect that I wanted to touch on for my part. And that has to do with Roman Empire nanotechnology, quote unquote. It's not necessarily nanotechnology in the sense that we know it in the modern era, like nanoparticles. I mean, it does involve nanoparticles. And then the other element that I wanted to touch on is the void, also known as the abyss. And that is applicable to Greek and Norse mythology. So that's probably my most the aspect I'm most interested in for this podcast that we're going to touch on. And then I kind of wanted to tie consciousness into that in some way or another. But anyway, kind of the way that I do this is I will kind of have sources that I will work with and kind of interpret them. And, oh, cool, the demo is done. Awesome. Let me go ahead and move that demo over to another drive. Only because this, the drive that I have it on doesn't have very much space left. So what I'll do is take me just a second to move that. Just going to cut and paste it. I think it's on the D drive is where I want it. Let's see. Trying to remember where I put the games. I think I have them in their own folder. Yeah, it looks like I do. Okay, so I'm pasting that right now. take it just a second. My D drive is an older 7200 RPM. I'm not quite sure. I don't know the brand. I think it's Western Digital. I can't remember. But an old-fashioned, hard drive, a big old hard drive. And then my C drive is an SSD, but it's only 256 gigabytes, so it's very small. So anyway, I wanted to get that off of the C drive and get it over to the D drive where there's more space. Okay, so anyhow, back to the beginning of the discussion. I'm sure hoping that the other party member will get a hold here. We'll see. But anyway, so the Lycurgus cup. This is a nanotechnological aspect of the Roman Empire. And it's not necessarily nanotechnology as we know it nowadays with modern nanotech and, technological particles that you can program, I think, is probably the best difference. Because here, with the Lycurgus cup, there were technologies used, colloidal particles. So these are nano in size. So they're nanoparticles based upon their size, but it's a colloidal solution, colloidal particles. And these colloidal particles have different colors. And put together, you get this, the Lycurgus cup. And you can see there like a jade color and like a rubyish red. But the reason that this occurs in different colors is because it's just the one cup. They didn't have like actual technology embedded in the cup. But what the unique factor is about this is the colloidal particles. And when light would shine through these colloidal particles, it says right here, upon illumination of a particle with a wavelength comparable to or smaller than the particle size, surface plasma confinement occurs. And that's where you get the different colors. So, how's it going, Mario? So that is, in essence, the Lycurgus cup. And so it's a short-lived technology developed by Roman glassworkers. But the lack of tools to characterize these structures made them less significant for a long time. During the 1980s, the concept of nanotechnology began to flourish. And so this is where you start getting various applications. Here it mentions food packaging, clothing, disinfectants, household appliances, silver nanoparticles, nanomaterials. And then to contrast, in the modern era, the latest technology is being developed for the application of nanotechnology to a variety of industrial and purification processes. So desalination of water, water filtration, wastewater treatment, groundwater treatment, things of that nature. And then, of course, you have your technological nanomaterials, which is, I think, probably the more modern, how should I phrase it? Perception, I guess. I mean, when you hear nanotech, you probably think of, nano wires, nanotechnological chips, things of that nature. Electronic applications, it says. And then there's also nanobiotechnology. There we go. And this, of course, involves nanoparticles that are programmable, and they can be introduced into the body. They can accomplish various treatments. It's very interesting. I think that you can program such small circuitry, and these nanoparticles you can program them to attack certain cells, for instance, like to I wouldn't say cure cancer, but to at least work on the kind of mitigate the effects of it, diminish the growth of it, I guess, if you will. But anyways, that is the Lycurgus cup. So essentially, to recap in summary, it's gold nanoparticles that they used. And the cup appears a different color based upon the light that is shown through it. Or absence of light or light, I guess. When there's no light, it's just a jade, a creamy jade color. And when light is shown through, it's like a ruby red. So that is how they accomplished it, through the use of a colloidal solution, and that contains gold nanoparticles. Okay, so now we'll touch on the abyss or the void, and this again is Greek or Greek and Norse mythology. So, and I'm not going to be able to carry this conversation for an hour by myself. So I think a half an hour is fine. So what I'll do is I'll touch on the void, and then I'll do the BeamNG, which is next. And again, the final item will be the PlayStation 2 Demo Disc 49. So this is the magazine. And I'll look through that later when I get over to it. And I'm hoping that demo disc works. I don't know whether or not for absolute sure or not whether it's going to, but we'll see. Anyway, how's it going, Mario? My title is the podcast because I was hoping we were kind of planning it to get going a little bit later, but it ended up being a little bit too late for Manic, so he had to call it off. And I was thinking that another party member might have been able to join in, but I don't know, maybe not. But if they do within the next little bit, message in Discord, I'll go ahead and jump on a call with them and have them come in. But they are quite passionate and interested in mythology, Greek mythology in particular. And so I was quite excited to hear what they had to say. And I'm just, my approach was to touch on nanotechnology and the abyss or the void. But yeah, I was going to do some more BeamNG. I figured out how to get the sensitivity figured out. I just got to adjust the linearity on the steering wheel. So that's not going to be a big deal at all. And I'm real excited to try out that demo disc. There's quite a few demos on there. So, but anyway, I hope you're doing well tonight. And thanks for coming in as well. It's always good to see you. So anyway, the void, or otherwise known as the abyss, and this is a post by Dr. Leon Burnett, not to appeal to authority there. That's just to publish the post. But so anyway, the abyss or the void, without getting into the reading here, the abyss or the void essentially is nothingness. Well, what is nothingness? Nothingness is, it can, if you refer to it as a noun, nothingness, a noun is a person, place, or a thing. So nothingness being, what could you consider it as? A place, maybe space itself, so a thing. So nothingness in a way is something. So what is nothing? How could you determine nothing? It's hard, it's difficult to refer to nothingness because you're referring to something. And so this is kind of where the, I guess, paradox, but there's different beliefs on it. So I was going to do BeamNG, the racing game that I did last week. And I figured out the steering issue on it. So that's why I was looking forward to it. To to play that. And then, like I said, I have a demo disc for the PlayStation Magazine, and it looks like on that demo disc is Ico, Soul Reaver 2, Spy Hunter, Clona 2, Cool Borders, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, MX 2002, Super Bombad Racing, and Portal Runner. And then it has some videos that you can watch on there. So I don't know if it'll work because it's we'll see. But I'm hoping it will. So we'll just see what happens. It may or may not work. Yeah, the demo discs, yeah, they are really fun. And, I like doing them because it's unique, I feel like. Not everybody plays, demo discs. And I remember I used to get the original Xbox magazine, and I always really liked the demo discs. So I always thought that was pretty fun, if you couldn't afford the game, you at least had a demo disc to try things out. But it was also neat just to try things out. So that's why I like doing those. I think they're really fun, and then also like technical showcases and things of that nature. But anyways, let me recap on the Void here real quick, because I'm about to jump over to BeamNG here in just a moment. Unless Nicro gets a hold of me, then I'll extend it for another half an hour to an hour. But anyway, as stated here by, what is his name? Leon Burnett. The mysterious, inexplicable quality of the void makes it a subject particularly amenable to myth, as does its range of metaphorical and symbolic meanings. A feeling of metaphysical emptiness lurks in the background of every observation of the natural world, and threatens to suppress all delight in the superficial spectacle. So here we talk about the narratives and the imagery and myths around the world that engage with origins. The void is the nihil, out of which existence and being emerge and often ultimately return. So nihil is a prefix of nihilism, which is the belief that there's different modalities of nihilism. But existential nihilism in specific is the belief that absolutely nothing matters. Not ethics or morals, I guess, should preface that. Moral is either right or wrong. And ethics are how you apply morals. But anyway, existential nihilism holds that ethics and morals do not exist. There is no meaning or purpose to anything. And everything does not matter. Nothing matters. Not your life, not anybody else's life. Nothing you've done in your life matters. Nothing that anybody else has done in their life matters. And existence itself does not matter. There's absolutely no purpose to it. It doesn't matter. And if you relate that to the void, even saying something doesn't matter is in a way relating it to significance, which is kind of a tricky connection here I'm trying to make about it, about the void, nothingness. Hey, Manic. Well, unfortunately, it's just me carrying it on. And I was only going to do it for like another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to play BeamNG, the racing game. And, but I let Nicro know I was going on, but I don't know if he's not on, maybe he's away from his keyboard, I'm not quite sure. But I told him to let me know, and if he gets a hold of me, then I'll extend the podcast for another half an hour to an hour. But other than that, it's just me, and I'm just touching on my points. And that was the Roman Lycurgus Cup, and now I'm speaking on the void. So. And so you might want to amend that 1 hour, I saw 1 hour, you might just say half hour because it's just me. I don't think Nicro is going to stop in tonight. I think he might be away from keyboard. I'll check one more time, but if he does come in, I'll more than gladly extend the podcast to an hour instead of a half an hour. But yeah, I think that he might be away from keyboard. I'm not sure. So anyways, that's why I said the podcast more or less is just me touching on the points that I wanted to make, which is about the Lycurgus Cup and Roman nanotechnology. And just to recap really, really quickly, ancient Romans, they used gold nanoparticles, and they affixed them to this cup in a way that when you shine the light through it, it turns red. And they accomplished this through the use of spherical colloidal particles. So, really neat. And then the void, again, was the other thing that I wanted to touch on, but just about done with it. And I'm going to get over to BeamNG. But anyway, back to what I was speaking on here. So the void is the nihil out of which existence and being emerge and often ultimately return. So what that means is the void comes from nothing, but it also returns to nothing. So very interesting to think about it that way. Because again, if you look at nothingness, if you look at nothingness as a word, as a linguistic piece and a linguistic article, then nothingness can be interpreted or viewed as a noun, which it is. Because again, remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. This is very simple delineation, nouns, adjectives, verbs. But if you look at it in that way, nothingness is a place, you could say. You could also say it's a thing. So anyhow, that's interesting. So nothingness, or the void comes from nothingness. It emerges therefrom, but it also returns to nothingness. And so there's a cosmic void, and there's also a personal void. The former usually situated before the creation of the cosmos, and the latter after the extinction of the individual, whose transitory status on this earth is encapsulated in the designation mortal. So we are something, we have some meaning as long as we exist as a mortal. But then again, there are many that live on, not through physically living on, but through their words that live on through the ages, and there's many examples of that. So others that have passed live on through those that are still alive. So it's a very interesting way to look at it that way. So again, as I mentioned prior, the cosmic void is encountered in Greek and Norse mythology. And in essence, the void is, well, here's a great biblical passage from the King James Version of the Bible. When God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void. So it had no shape, it was formless. It was empty, there was nothing to it, but yet there was still an entity that exists. So nothingness, in a way, if you look at it as a noun, there's a great article I would have liked to have integrated into this, but I just didn't have the time to. So, but there's a great distinction between looking at emptiness or nothingness as a noun, but also in a different light. Whether you're looking at it just semantically or linguistically as a word, whether you're looking at it as a noun, because again, if you think of nothingness, if you say the word nothing, that's nothing. Well, that implies that there's a lack of something, but nothing is still something. It's a lack of something, right? So this correlates here with the biblical verse from the King James Version. When God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void. Formless and void. The same words occur in Isaiah, where the King James Version renders them as confusion and emptiness. So again, very interesting sentiment to think about there. Okay. So the idea of nothingness is central to Taoism. The Tao Te Ching refers to the Tao as something formless, complete in itself, there before heaven and earth. I'll say that one more time. Something formless, complete in itself, there before heaven and earth. So this is something before anything. How can something arise out of nothing? Well, that's because while it might be nothing and might be formless, it's still something, and it's complete in itself. Very interesting, very philosophical, I feel like. Okay, so this is a half an hour, just over a half an hour. Like I said, I don't really think I can carry this podcast for a full hour by myself. So let me give a couple of recaps on points, and then what I'm going to do is switch on BeamNG, play that for maybe an hour, and if I have the time, and if it works, I will do the demo disc for the official US PlayStation magazine, and there's quite a few demos, so we'll see if it works, hopefully. But to recap, the Lycurgus cup from ancient Roman culture, essentially they used a colloidal solution of gold particles. And this is what you have down here. When no light is shining on the cup, it's a creamy jade. When light is shown on the cup, it becomes a ruby red. And it's because of the way that the light passes through or over the nanoparticles. So it's not nanotechnology as we think of it today, generally, like programmable nanoparticles that you can insert into the body that can accomplish different tasks like eradicating disease, things of that nature, nanobiotechnology. So that's the Lycurgus. And then the void, it's attributed, it originates, its sources from many different cultures and religions, mindsets, philosophy, but essentially it's about nothingness. It's formless nothingness. But when you examine it a little bit more deeply, you can label it as a cosmic void, a personal void, both of which have this, they share a semblance of tenets there in terms of there being nothingness. But when you look at nothingness, nothingness is a lack of something, but it's also in and of itself is something. So when you say nothing that is not there and then nothing that is, what does that mean? Well, if you break it down, nothing that is not there and the nothing that is, well, nothingness is still something to a degree, because how can you, it boggles my mind when I think about it. The same way of space expanding, space itself, ever since the Big Bang, space is created by itself. You might say, well, space expands into something. No, it doesn't. Space does not exist until space expands. So what is space expanding into? Nothing. But that nothing must be some substrate, must be some esoteric medium by which space is able to expand into. So a very, very puzzling way to look about nothingness and the abyss or the void. So anyhow, that is what I wanted to touch on. There is one thing I did not touch on, which is tying consciousness and neuroscience into it. But again, going to be a little bit difficult for me to carry it on my own. So maybe next week, there's the possibility that I can align my time on time and we can get it, coordinate our schedules a little bit more properly. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and launch up Beam in G. So I'm going to go ahead and get on over to that. And following will be PlayStation 2 Demo Disc 49 if it works. So, yeah. But anyway, Manic, I think that Nicro might be away from keyboard. AFK. So, yeah. I guess we'll have to align it where we're all together and all contributing, I think. So, maybe next week. I'm gonna go ahead and get on over to BeamNG. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of racing. I did some research on the steering wheel and got that figured out. So there is a program I want to pull up real quick. There we go. Alrighty. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll on up, open on up, BeamNG. All right. So while I have upgraded my computer, I still need to upgrade my CPU. I did upgrade my RAM from 16 gigs at a low frequency, 2133 megahertz, on up to 32 gigs, so I doubled it, and it's running at a higher frequency, 2666 megahertz. However, I am still running a 10th generation quad-core i3, which I think a base operating clock at around 3.6 gigs, a turbo at just over 4 gigs. It's not the fastest CPU, so with that said, sometimes particularly the camera here, likes to stall for maybe a second while it loads in cache and stuff, so just keep that in mind. But I'm going to go ahead and get over to BeamNG. I'm going to adjust my steering wheel, the linearity, so that it's not so sensitive. I'll play that for a little bit. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and adjust the linearity, and then let's get that Mustang Terminator out on the road. Gonna head to the roads of Utah again, I think. So, linearity, I believe that'll be in the options. Controls. Vehicle. And steering. So what I'm going to do is adjust the linearity. Greater values mean finer grained response in the center at the expense of worse response near the limit. Use 1 for steering wheels, it says. So I'm going to still have to change it because not even using the steering wheel shows an output of 2%. The reason it does is because the axis is slightly, ever so slightly off. That's because it's similar to controller drift, like a joystick that drifts, you know. Same thing. So what I'm going to do is turn that linearity up a little bit, I believe. Or maybe down. Well, that's an output of 14%, so maybe that isn't the best idea. Oh, there we go. 1.4% ought to do it. That takes the output to 0%. Just going to go ahead and apply that. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into map. And I'm going to use the SVT Cobra Mustang. So I'm going to go to Utah, USA, and use the Mustang. So again, when this loads up, you'll notice that the camera down here with my pedals ever so slightly will lag for about a second or so. I really need to get a better CPU, honestly. Need more power. So anyway, Utah, USA it is. But if you're wondering if you can play this game with the setup I have, yes, you can. You can even play it with 16 gigabytes, 2133 megahertz, which is what I had before I got the 32 gigabytes, 2666 megahertz. And I might post my specs actually in the video description, if you happen to be so interested. And also post the information about steering wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Let's go to tourist area, I guess. Alrighty, so there's the Ford Terminator Cobra. So, turning the linearity up to 1.4% worked. Perfect. Works perfect. Cool. Works really, really nice. So it's still very realistic in terms of one of the most realistic simulators there is, if not the most. So if you give it too much gas, it's going to spin out because this is running about north of 400 horses. 390, 95, 400 horses. It's stocked with a supercharger. I also have the police chases, so maybe I'll try to figure that out. So here's the most wanted mission. So it's the heat level chases, the same from Need for Speed Heat. I just don't know how the heck to... Oh, wait. This mod is available from the map in free roam mode, not scenarios. And it is available in Utah, which is where I'm at. During missions, you can repair your vehicle by entering a gas station. So I'm just trying to figure out how to configure it and how to start it. Simple police use less CPU resources, so one police vehicle is fine, maybe two. Loading time and memory usage increase as the heat level range increases. The higher the maximum heat level, the higher the CPU usage. Lower the FPS, the dumber the AI becomes. So I don't want to have this run too much for my setup, so I'll have to use it very, very simple. But you have pursuit length, total police vehicles involved, police vehicles damaged, police vehicles immobilized, roadblocks dodged, cost to the state, infractions, and your bounty. So this is a custom challenge. The mission category is custom challenge. If the mission marker is not shown, please check below options. So should it already be active, I'm wondering? Perhaps there is a mission marker I have to run into? So there's a mission marker. I think that might be a police chase. Oh, it's a time trial. Trying to get to a straightaway here so I can let her rip. Hey, Mike. All right, so hazardous mine. I wonder if I should go in there. Yeah, dude, it's the Terminator Cobra, man. Mustang Terminator Cobra. So again, I'm trying to find a straightaway here. I'm up in the canyons in Utah. Let me see if I can find a straightaway here and let this rip. Highway battle against an AI. Alright, do I need to activate the AI, or is it already active? I don't know. Also, I should have nitrous, and I'm not quite sure how to activate it. I think I need to go into the garage to do that. But nitrous is details. Yeah, so nitrous is built into this game. But I don't know if I need to go to the garage to, like, activate it. Because I already have the nitrous mapped to my controller, to my steering wheel. But I don't know if I need to go to the garage to, like, configure it. Alright, let's let this rip. Alright, gotta be careful here because it's gonna spin out. How do I reset the vehicle? I forget. Well, it doesn't look like the vehicle's damaged, but I forget how to reset it. Oh, I think it's insert. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I fixed the steering wheel linearity, by the way. I had to set it to 1.4 points above 0 to compensate for the drifting of this wheel. And now it's fine. Works perfect. So... yeah, the nitrous doesn't work, so I think that means that I need to set it in the garage. It's just so much horsepower, it spins out so easily. Dead. Can't even see where I am. Too much dust. There we go. So I set reverse to brake. So you just have to let off the brake and then it'll reverse. But it's a nice car, but it's this is the most realistic racing simulator that there is, from what I've read. Like, they use this game, like, at training institutions, like community colleges, to teach you how to drive a truck and different practical applications like that. So it's not just a video game, but it's, like, actually used to train people how to drive in different settings, like semi-trucks and things like that, because it's so realistic. Everything, it's like driving a real vehicle. So if I were driving a Cobra and I hit the gas, it's going to spin out. If you have nearly 400 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, you're going to spin out if you hit the gas. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. But they use it to train people to drive semi-trucks and a lot of different other applications. So it's actually used as a learning tool. That's how realistic it is. It's used as a learning tool. It's the most realistic simulator that there is for a driving game. Alright, let me see if I can get somewhere where, if I have to, I'll use a different vehicle. What about Ridge Race? Try that. Anyway, the message... Yeah, so I was going to say, the message that I put in the Discord, I didn't at anybody, but that was to you. I didn't know if you had got the game yet. You had mentioned last week about maybe trying multiplayer. So that's why I had mentioned it. But, I mean, we could race one another, I suppose, or we could just, like, cruise together, I don't know. But there's also mods, like this right here, Most Wanted. It's straight out of Need for Speed Most Wanted. It's a police pursuit. But I don't know how to activate it. So I'll have to do some more research. So I turned the engine off. Yeah, it is. So let's see if my engine start button on my steering wheel works. It doesn't. Because I have an engine... Do you like hear like the little pings like of the oil pan? See how realistic it is? I'm pretty cool. Alright, I'm gonna go into this mine shaft. Oh, I can't see. Maybe you're not supposed to go in there. Yeah, this, it's very hard to control this. It just has too much damn horsepower to it. Delivery destruction. So, I don't even know how to start missions. So... Oh, wow. Too hard to control. See if I can control something else. So the Ferrari is what I was using last time. Yeah, a ball. I was thinking maybe you could drive the ball. I guess not. You can do all kinds of stuff on here. Alright, I'll try out the Ferrari again. Well, it says it's a Ferrari. Well, it doesn't say it's a Ferrari, but it looks like a Ferrari. Also, I'll probably do this for about another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to try out the PlayStation 2, PlayStation Magazine. Official United States PlayStation Magazine. I pulled up the magazine, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to show the magazine. But this is one of the demos. Soul Reaver 2. So that'd be kind of cool. Alright, so why don't I try out a this car here. This is sequential. Yeah, I'm going to do that next. In about 20 minutes. I'll switch over to the demo. Ooh, look at that car. That's nice and pretty. Check your encoder settings. Was I encoding a little bit too quickly there? Did you notice any lag? It only popped up for a second. Zero dropped frames, so I guess it's fine. Popped up there a second encoder, check encoding. But on OBS, I have 0 dropped frames. Anyway, it would have only been for a second or two. So let's try this car out. Okay, so this really, really works well. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was looking for. How much longer until we get out of this damn tunnel? Also, I don't know how to turn on my lights. See, I really need a lot of practice with this. Okay, let me do one more run real quick. I also need a better steering wheel. I'll just be honest. And need a better situation here where I can... not sitting like this, you know? Utah Most Wanted. Hey, that's the cop challenge! So I don't know how to activate it. I'm guessing this mile marker, but I don't know how to activate it. I'm gonna have to do some research on it and figure it out. So I'm not running individual gears on this. I just have it in automatic sequential. I will say that this controls very nicely. Doesn't spin out. Dead. Well, pretty fun, but I will say that this game takes a lot of getting used to. And it's not just myself that thinks this. Because when I was trying to figure out the steering wheel issue, and all I had to do was configure the linearity, which it did. There's a lot of people, again, subjective opinion, but they say that this game is one that you just have to get used to. You have to get used to the feel of the different vehicles, because each vehicle has a different feel to it, largely. And you just have to realize that this is not a game that is an arcade game. Although I do have the controls set to arcade controls insofar as they are sequential shifting, automatic sequential shifting. But this is something that you really have to get used to. You know what I mean? So, and there's so many different things you can do. So much that I haven't even looked at yet. You can change the environment, tons of vehicle configurations, mods up the yin-yang. You can build your own track, and on and on and on. But with that said, still a little bit hard to control. Quite difficult. All right, well, let's go ahead and try out the demo disc. It's about time here. And also, I hope that the demo disc works. I don't know for sure if it will, but I hope it does. So, we will see, I suppose. Also, Succubus. I want to get back into that. Maybe next week as one of the games I'll do. We'll see. But I've really been thinking about Succubus. I'd really like to get back into it. So, and Black Mesa is another one I'd like to try out. And also Duke Nukem Forever. So, quite a few games I'd like to check out again. Silent Hill Homecoming is another one. Resident Evil 6. Final Fantasy 13. Grand Theft Auto 4. Doom. I've never even played this. I don't know what Doom version this is either. It's just Doom. Oh, it's Doom 2016. And then the Batman games, I've never even played these. Arkham Asylum Game of the Year and Arkham City Game of the Year. Need for Speed Unbound. I played like, in total, how long have I played this? 2.7 hours. Max Payne 2, Max Payne, Halo. Grid. I really like Grid. It's a fun one. Alright, so the PlayStation 2 demo disc. Alrighty. So this is the magazine. It was scanned and uploaded. This is back in the era when the Dreamcast was still a contender. Microsoft Xbox, Dreamcast, and PlayStation 2. When's the last time you've seen those three consoles together? Wow. That's crazy. Alright, so I'm really hoping this works. If it doesn't, I'll choose something else. But I'm just not entirely sure if it's going to run or not. The demo discs are a little bit tricky. But I sure hope it runs. I'd like to play it. There's a lot of fun demos on there. But anyhow. There's that Winter Fresh Gum advertisement. I remember that, seeing that in gaming magazines. Just gonna coil this up here real quick. Let me get this coiled. All right. Sit right there. Okay. So, where are the demos? There's 163 pages to this, so I'm not going to look through all of them. But a focal emphasis on this, for this magazine, is Silent Hill 2. The PlayStation 2 version of Silent Hill 2, which arguably some people would say that it is the best, but the enhanced edition, in my opinion, is the absolute best. And I have that. It's a PC version, but I'm not going to play that tonight. But it's worth noting that the enhanced edition is pretty well the best version that there is. So Soul Reaver 2, I believe that this is one of the games on the demo. So we'll just kind of look through this magazine a little bit. Extreme G Racing, I remember seeing this advertisement. PlayStation 2 and GameCube. I remember seeing this as well. Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance. Red Faction. So online incoming. This is the broadband adapter for the PlayStation 2. There's Max Payne. Duke Nukem, Metal Gear Solid. SpongeBob. So here's another Silent Hill 2. But your mind will be scarred forever. And there's I like that inclusion of Eddie there. Is that his name, Eddie? Yeah, I think it is. Characters with character. Jack and Daxter. DC shoes. I wear DC shoes to this day. I only wear these shoes when I'm doing the racing game. Or a racing game. And my daily shoes are DC shoes. Hey, Raziel and Kane. This is, I think this is in the Soul Reaver 2. But there was also Legacy of Kane Defiance on the Xbox. I really liked that game. Oh, the PlayStation 1 when they did the revised system. I also remember this advertisement. It's kind of cool. I think that would be kind of difficult to skate like that, but maybe easy once you got used to it. So you can tell that this is an actual magazine. You can tell like the environmental effects to the magazine like worn out a little bit. Pretty cool. Spy Hunter. Resident Evil Code Veronica X on the PlayStation 2. Max Payne, PC and PlayStation 2. Crazy Taxi. Dreamcast game, ported over to the PlayStation 2. I think it's also on GameCube. Time Splitters 2, that's another really fun one. I played that on original Xbox. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, took it a moment to connect
Sorry.
there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My laptop just sort of crashed on me.
Yeah, I kind of already did the, I just did the angle I was going to touch on with, the Lycurgus Cup and the Void, but already did the, podcast bit.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, it's alright. Maybe, next week, I guess?
Yeah, sorry, I was distracted with my parents. The dogs decided to go crazy, and so I got done helping them, came back to my room, and then I find my laptop decided to be retarded.
No problem. Well, yeah, I am on the stream here, so I guess what we'll do is maybe I'll catch up with you hereafter and maybe see where we can do it again next week, the same podcast. I had mentioned it, in fact, on the stream that that the mythology was kind of a passion to you, and that you were gonna kind of touch on some main points and all that. So I guess maybe we can kind of maybe speak about that for a second on what parts you'd like to touch on. Maybe I guess I don't know.
Yeah. My biggest thing is I'm going to talk about a few like what known misconceptions are about certain aspects of mythology when it
Right.
comes to what is known and what is mistakenly thought to be known.
Mm.
One of the biggest examples is that Hades isn't the god of the dead. He's just the god of the underworld. He controls the dead. The god of the dead is Thanatos, and that's a unique story on its own. So,
Indeed. Well, that's put forth on the stream there. So when this video is watched back, well, others will be able to hear the points you wanted to touch on. But yeah, I'm kind of just rolling. I was going to do a PlayStation 2 disc and then kind of call it. But
okay.
I'll pop into the Discord and I guess we can maybe follow up for a little bit if you'd like. I'll probably be about another hour on the stream about. So I'll pop in after and catch up with you. And is your laptop out of commission or?
I should. My laptop should be fixed by now. It says it's working on updates, 30%.
Oh, there you go. I was.
Yeah, I'm hoping that by that time it'll be fixed.
Okay. I was thinking maybe like a electrical issue or a motherboard or something, but it's just working on updates. Okay.
Well, no, it was literally fine, and then it went blue screen, and then it says something happened, sending an error report, all this, that, and the other, and then it rebooted, and that's when it showed me the whole working on updates thing, and now it's showing a loading screen with its regular graphic that it shows when it boots.
Gotcha. Coincidental, because my laptop, as far as I know, I think the power supply failed, but I had blue screens of death as well. And when I was moving it the other day, it just turned off and I cannot get it to turn on anymore. So, yeah, I'm wondering if maybe that has to do with the updates. Maybe I should try to see if I can get my laptop working again. But it sucks. But at least it's updating for you. So it's on, it's updating. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
And plus, oh yeah, I don't mean to bother you.
No, you're fine, man. You're not bothering me, not at all. It's totally fine. I just was letting you know that I already did the little bit there. But like it says, when I pop in, I'll pop in after the stream and I'll tell you what I did. And we can kind of, you mentioned what you'd like to do, so we can kind of correlate. And it's going to kind of be the same time, but hopefully I can get done a little bit earlier. I know it's a little bit late for Manic, but you can tell me what your schedule is like next week. Hopefully it's not too late for you. Do you think it would be, or?
No, it should be fine. Like I said, the only reason why the last two times have been so weird is because I've had to work on Saturdays. I'm not working this coming Saturday, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting next Saturday off as well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, man. And if it's just the two of us, that's fine. But I'll pop into Discord and I'll kind of, like it says, I'll give you a little bit of update on what I did and kind of correlate with you there and see what we'll do next week, and we can go from there. So. All right, man. Good. Right. I hope your laptop is all right. You said it's updated, so that's good at least. All right, cool. All right, man. Well, I'll chat with you probably in the next little bit here. Give you a little catch up. All righty. All right, man.
Take it easy.
All right. See you later. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, bye.
You too.
All right. So it looks like Necro's laptop was updating Windows updates. So, all right. So the PlayStation 2 magazine. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. That's a good game. So, Legacy of Kain Defiance. Oh no, Blood Omen 2. I think that's actually... I'm not quite sure if that's what I've played before in the past. No, actually, I think it is. Xbox. Because Xbox is the one that I played it on. I think this is the one. Yeah, it is. So it's Legacy of Kain series, Blood Omen 2. So that one is... I really like this one. Really fun. Silent Hill 2 again. So this issue is kind of focused on Silent Hill 2, so... Hey, we're almost through the magazine, so may as well finish it. Gran Turismo? Never played any Gran Turismo games. Twisted Metal Black. That's a fun one. I have this on PlayStation 4. Crazy Taxi, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Your World, Cubed. Nintendo GameCube. On sale, October 30th, 2001. Oh, man. Devil May Cry. All right, that's the end of the magazine. Okay, so let's try the demo disc. Hopefully it works. Don't know for sure if it will, but I'll see what happens. So I'm using a nightly edition of PCSX2. This is an older version as well. Okay, so that's the thing with PCSX2 is, you know, PlayStation 2 is rather finicky when it comes to the settings here. You kind of have to, let's see, start disk. But there's different settings for different games, largely. Let's see, I don't know where my game directory is either. I'm going to have to... Game list. Oh, add game directory. Okay, so I'm in the wrong directory. So I'll find it. PlayStation 2, there it is. Games. Okay, so it doesn't look like it shows up. Oh, it does, it does. Okay. Well, I don't know what the settings are, but there it is. Official US PlayStation Magazine disc. Okay, so... Oh, there we go. Hey, it works! Okay, I need to plug in the controller, though.
Hey gang, well it's E3 time again, which is why I'm hanging out in front of the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Hey Maggie, since this is our first issue packaged in with the official PlayStation magazine, you might want to take this opportunity to introduce yourself.
Oh, that's right! Hi gang, I'm Maggie, the host of the PlayStation Underground, and as my producer just mentioned, we've teamed up with the official PlayStation magazine so that every once in a while you'll get more than just your regular demo disc. You'll get a DVD, playable only on your PlayStation 2, packed with interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, memory card downloads, and more!
And one annoying, bubbly host.
To celebrate the transition, we thought we'd do something a little different for this issue. So our programmers are using a new 360-degree camera technology from a company called En Route. From the time you enter the E3 hall until you reach the Sony booth, you can actually get a quick peek at the show floor. Here's how it works. Once I take off out of here, you can use the analog sticks to pan the camera left or right so you can virtually look around.
I figured you'd sneak that word in there somewhere.
Once inside, the Sony booth will transform into a cool heads-up display where you can check out some of the games and videos in different areas.
And what about the stories?
I'm getting to that! When you're inside the booth, you can also check out the segments we shot while in Japan on the games Dark Cloud and Extermination.
I thought you went to the Tokyo Game Show.
How right you are! However, rather than showing you the games that will someday end up on the shelves here in the US, we thought we'd give you a look at some of the stranger titles.
And downloads?
They're in there. Just look for the icon on the menu display.
Well, it sounds to me like you've got this issue wrapped up, but aren't you afraid that the 360-degree camera will show your bad side?
What bad side?
Trying to get the Xbox controller connected. Might have to relaunch this as well, I'm not sure. That frees everything? It looks like it did. Well, what do I do now? Wasn't expecting that to happen. Let me see if I can fix it here. Alright, well, bear with me. If I need to, I'll just turn the cameras off. It looks like when the game loaded, it froze the cameras for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, well, I guess it'll just stay on... let me see. Alright, I think I maybe fix it here. Maybe, I don't know. Nope, I guess not. Alright, well, for some reason it froze the cameras. Okay, I think I have to reactivate them. Well, it shows it in the preview that it is activated. In the preview it does. But in the stream it doesn't. Alright, well, I guess it's just gonna have frozen cameras for the rest. It is what it is. That's okay. It has something to do with the PlayStation launching. I don't know why, but... Okay, so I think I have to... see. What I was going to say is I think that I have to have the PCSX2 restarted. But yeah, the cameras froze up when PCSX2 launched. So, tried to reset them, but it doesn't look like it's working. So, what that would mean is I'd have to restart OBS, and I'm not going to do that. So, it's just going to have to stay on the frozen cameras there. I'll try one more thing. But I'm not sure why it did that. But I've tried activating and reactivating. And it shows it on my side in the previews in OBS, but On stream, it does not. So, not sure. Well, that is, of course, unless stream is no longer operative. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe it's just recording. No idea. Looks like it's still live, but I don't know. If it isn't, I'll just finish up the recording. That's why I make sure to record at the same time. But I think it may have... No, it is still live. I don't know. It looks like the cameras show. Well, then again, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Don't know if it's catching up with, maybe there was a delay. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna have to continue with, what I was gonna do, the PlayStation 2 demo disc. But yes, I cannot tell, and I think it would require restart an OBS. Because I can see the cameras in the preview, but for some reason it won't even, I can't get them to turn off either. Hard to tell. So I guess it maybe is, was showing the desktop here.